Welcome to the next episode of the Dark Web Deacon. Before we begin, be sure to smash that subscribe button, click the bell to turn on notifications, and check out the latest items in the Dark Web Deacon merch store. There is a link in the video description below, and become a true Dark Web enthusiast. New videos are published every Monday and Thursday. Anyone who used the internet in the 90s will tell you that web search has come an exceptionally long way. But commercial search engines do not index anything on the dark web and the Tor network. There are several search engines that have been developed specifically for the dark web, including Phobos, Haystack, Excavator, Amia, Candle, and several others. But these search engines are not powerful or customizable enough to provide government intelligence agencies and law enforcement enough information to investigate dark web crimes with targeted searches. So DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency of the government, launched its MEMEX Search Engine back in 2014 and has been fine-tuning it ever since as a way to solve this problem. For those who may not know the internet history, DARPA is the US government agency that actually built the foundational components of the internet. It was actually called the ARPANET back in the day. MEMEX brought together over a dozen different contract teams that have been working with DARPA to create new forms of discovery, organization, and presentation of domain-specific content on the dark web. MEMEX is searching for content hosted on the surface web, but also dark websites with a .onion domain, which can only be accessed through the Tor browser, or other web pages which are generally ignored by commercial search engines. MEMEX is a combination of the words memory and index, and includes about 8 open source pieces of technology, browser-based search, analysis and data visualization programs, as well as back-end server software that perform complex computations and data analysis. The tool goes beyond what is cataloged by commercial surface search engines like Google or Yahoo, which only index about 5% of the internet. Wade Shen, who was DARPA's program manager at the time of the MEMEX creation, said the engine was built to get the answers law enforcement agencies needed when searching the dark web for illegal activities. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimates that there are about 2.5 million human trafficking victims worldwide at any given point in time. Yet putting the criminals behind bars who are responsible for this is a very difficult problem. Those who have seen a demo of MEMEX similar to the one I'm showing now say the search engine is granular enough to show the message board conversations around one person in the EU who was claiming to sell illegal firearms. Also, DARPA showed how it could tweak a graph to measure traffic related to a subject, ebbing and flowing over the course of a few years. So definitely the MEMEX search engine can really pinpoint specific types of posts and look at the history of those posts and the individuals behind those posts over time. The MEMEX search engine allows users to cross-reference traffic from individual users based on several different inputs for a granular look at how traffic has progressed. While MEMEX does not remove the anonymity that comes with the dark web, it does give law enforcement a fine-tooth comb to search for illegal activity. Part of the MEMEX suite of tools is a piece of functionality called Telefinder, which reveals trafficking activity and summarizes the behavior of and relationships between the entities that post them. The search engine has already aided human trafficking investigations. Using different filters in MEMEX, investigators could index different ways traffickers avoid traditional search engine indexing, like posting photos of phone numbers or spelling out the entire 10 digits. MEMEX's ability to pull information from a broader swath of the internet helps investigators create data maps used to detect spatial and temporal patterns. One example could be a hub-and-spoke visualization depicting hundreds of websites connected to a single sex service email, phone number, or sex worker. Current MEMEX program manager Christopher White says he wants to continue testing MEMEX until him and his team are confident they've created a version of MEMEX that they can comfortably hand over to law enforcement agencies and prosecutors. When this handover happens, software components like the web crawler, machine learning algorithms, graph analysis will be able to scour the surface web and the deep dark web and will be installed locally at law enforcement agencies using basic off-the-shelf software that they already currently use. So it'll be very easily to integrate this MEMEX search engine with the current software and infrastructure that's currently being used by law enforcement. So this definitely is a fascinating piece of cutting-edge search engine technology. And there's no denying that MEMEX's goal of fighting against human trafficking is definitely a noble one. However, this project is not without detractors, or those voicing legitimate privacy concerns. Some concerns that have arisen around this type of technology controlled by the government and law enforcement is the breadth and depth of the data collected by the callers, which possibly could get around paywalls, membership areas, and collect highly sensitive private information of those who are not part of the human trafficking ring. Also, a lack of oversight outside of the executive branch via judicial overview. Also, a third criticism is DARPA's rich centralized data repositories may be a target for malicious hackers, but that could be said about really anywhere where there's a centralized database. Also, little is publicly known about how long DARPA plans to retain the data that it is collecting. So what is its data retention and deletion policy? No one really knows. And as with any major government system, the protection of citizens' private information is always a concern. I sincerely hope that this advanced piece of technology will solely be focused on helping to end the scourge of human trafficking. And one day, the byproducts of this research could be used to help improve the current search engines that consumers use every day. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like, subscribe, and provide comments, and turn on notifications by clicking the bell in order to check out future videos published twice a week.